the gun pressed cold against my spine. "Don't move," he whispered, his breath warm on my neck. "Who sent you?" My heart hammered, but I kept my voice steady. "I don't know what you're talking about." Liar. This wasn't how tonight was supposed to go. I was supposed to observe from across the room, take notes, blend in with the other guests at his charity gala. But he'd spotted me. Of course he did. Kim Ji-hoon didn't become Seoul's most powerful underground boss by being careless. "Turn around," he said. Slowly, I did. And God, the file photos didn't do him justice. Sharp jawline, dark eyes that saw too much, that dangerous kind of handsome that makes smart women do stupid things. "You've been watching me all night," he said. "You're very watchable." His lips almost smiled. Almost. That line work on other targets? Targets. So he knew. My cover was blown and I'd been here less than an hour. Director Chen was going to kill me if Ji-hoon didn't first. But then something strange happened. He lowered the gun, slipped it back inside his jacket like we were just two people having a normal conversation at a party. "Walk with me," he said. "Not a request. Wait. Subscribe right now. Hit that button and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. New York? Tokyo? London? Let me know. And smash that like button because you need to see what happens next." This man is about to change her entire life. We ended up on a balcony overlooking the Han River, city lights glittering like diamonds on black water. He lit a cigarette, offered me one. I shook my head. "FBI?" he asked. "No point lying now." "Yes, thought so. You're too clean, too rehearsed." He exhaled smoke into the night air. "How long have you been tracking me?" 3 months, and what do you have?" "Enough." He laughed. Actually laughed. "No, you don't, or you would have moved already." He was right. We had suspicions, connections, nothing concrete. That's why they sent me in. "So what now?" I asked. "You kill me? Make me disappear? I have a better idea." He turned to face me fully, those eyes locked on mine. "Marry me." I blinked. "Excuse me? Not real. Fake. I need a fiancé for a business deal. American, respectable. Someone who makes me look legitimate." He took another drag. "You need to get close to me, to find your evidence. You're insane. I'm practical." He stepped closer. "You play my loving fiancé. I give you access. You do your job. When it's over, we part ways. Everyone gets what they want. And if I say no, then I call hotel security right now. Tell them I caught an FBI agent without a warrant, harassing me at my own charity event. Your career ends tonight." He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Or you say yes, and we both get what we need. Okay, be honest. Would you say yes to this deal? Comment your answer right now. Team yes or team no. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that like button too, because this story is about to get messy. I should have said no. Should have walked away, called for backup. But he was offering me exactly what I needed. Close access, his world, everything. "Fine," I heard myself say. "But we need rules." Of course, rule number 1. He moved even closer now. So close I could smell his cologne. Expensive, dangerous. "When we're in public, you look at me like you love me. Can you do that, agent?" Sarah Chen, can you do that, Sarah?" I met his gaze, didn't flinch. "Can you?" That almost smile again. "I guess we'll find out." He held out his hand. I took it. His grip was strong, warm. This was just business, I told myself, just a mission. I had no idea how wrong I was. So there I was, shaking hands with the devil, making a deal that would either make my career or destroy it, probably both. "When do we start?" I asked. "Tomorrow. I'm meeting with the Nakamoto family, Japanese investors, very traditional, very suspicious of me." He dropped his cigarette, crushed it under his shoe. "They need to see I'm stable, settled, that I have ties to legitimate society, and I'm your ticket to legitimate." "Exactly." He pulled out his phone. "Give me your number." "Why?" "Because fiancés text each other, Sarah. They call. They act like they're in love." He waited. "Unless you want this to look fake from day one." I rattled off my number. My work phone, the one that was monitored and recorded and completely clean. He typed it in. "There. Now we're officially dating." He pocketed his phone. "I'll pick you up tomorrow at 6. Wear something elegant. Red if you have it. The Nakamotos appreciate beauty. I'm not your dress-up doll. No. You're my fiancé. There's a difference." He started walking back inside. Stopped. Looked over his shoulder. "Oh, and Sarah, don't try anything stupid. I have eyes everywhere. You run. You call for backup. I disappear and you lose your only shot at me." Then he was gone. Back into his party. Back into his world of champagne and criminals dressed in $1,000 suits. I stood there on that balcony, wind whipping my hair, wondering what the hell I'd just agreed to. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. "Sleep well, fiancé. Tomorrow we start lying to everyone, including ourselves." I stared at that message. Then another one came through. P.S. I know where you live. The apartment on 5th. Nice place. You should lock your windows. If a dangerous mafia boss just sent you this text, what's your next move? Comment below and hit that like button if your hands are shaking right now. Also tell me, are you team run away or team see where this goes? I need to know. My blood went cold. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? I sat in my apartment with every light on, gun on my coffee table, watching the windows, watching the door. He was playing with me, showing me he could get to me anytime he wanted, that I wasn't safe, that this whole thing was his game and I was just a piece on his board. At 2 a.m. my actual phone rang. Director Chen. Chen speaking. Sarah, report. I told him everything, the confrontation, the deal, Ji-hoon's proposal, silence on the other end. Then, you should have called immediately. He would have known. He's watching me. Even more reason to extract you now. No. I surprised myself with how fast I said it. This is our chance. He's giving me access. Everything we've been trying to get for months, it's a trap, maybe. But it's also an opportunity. I stood. Paced. Let me play this out. I'll wear a wire. Report everything. We can finally get inside his operation. More silence. I could practically hear Director Chen thinking. Calculating. Weighing risks. Fine. But Sarah, you're on a very short leash. First sign of trouble, we pull you out. Understood? Understood. And Sarah? Don't forget who he is. Don't forget what he's done. The people he's hurt. The lives he's destroyed. His voice went hard. Don't let him get in your head. I won't. But even as I said it, I wondered if it was already too late. The next day crawled by. I couldn't focus, couldn't think, just kept checking my phone, waiting for another text from him, another threat, another reminder that he owned this game. Nothing came. At 3 p.m. I went to FBI headquarters, got fitted for a wire. The tech guy, Danny, he was good, made it small, invisible, tucked right against my ribs under my dress. You sure about this? He asked. No, that's honest at least. He tested the signal. We'll be listening. Anything goes wrong, we're 5 minutes out. 5 minutes is a long time. Then don't let anything go wrong. I got home at 5, had an hour to get ready. I pulled out the red dress, the one I'd bought 2 years ago for an undercover op that never happened. Figured it was time to put it to use. Simple, elegant, hit just above the knee. Nothing too sexy. Nothing that screamed trying too hard. Just right for a fake fiancée meeting her fake future-in-laws. I did my makeup, pulled my hair back in a low bun, a few loose strands framing my face. Soft, approachable, trustworthy. My doorbell rang at exactly 6. I opened it and there he was. Black suit, white shirt, no tie, hair pushed back. He looked like Money and Danger wrapped together. You wore red, he said. You asked nicely, that almost smile. I don't think I've ever asked nicely for anything in my life. First time for everything. He held out his arm. Shall we? I took it, felt the wire press against my ribs. Reminder that I wasn't alone in this, that the FBI was listening, recording, waiting. His driver was waiting downstairs, black Mercedes, tinted windows, the kind of car that screamed illegal money. We slid into the back seat. The driver didn't look at us, didn't acknowledge us, just started driving. Ji-hoon's hand found mine, laced our fingers together. His palm was warm, rough, like he'd worked with his hands once upon a time before he became this. Nervous? He asked. Should I be? The Nakamotos are dangerous people, very old school. They believe in honor, tradition, loyalty. He adjusted his cufflinks with his free hand. They also believe women should be quiet and respectful. You're kidding. I wish I was. He looked at me. Really looked. So tonight, you smile. You let me talk. You play the adoring fiancé who worships the ground I walk on. That's asking a lot. That's the deal. His voice went cold. You want it in. This is what in looks like. Can you handle it or not? I wanted to punch him. Wanted to arrest him right there. But I swallowed it down. Smiled sweetly. I can handle anything you throw at me. Good. Because they're going to ask questions. About us. How we met. How long we've been together. We need our story straight. So what's our story? He thought for a moment. We met 6 months ago. At a museum. You were admiring a painting. I approached you. Asked if you believed in love at first sight. That's cheesy. That's romantic. There's a difference. He shifted to face me better. Thumb rubbing circles on the back of my hand. Absent. Like he didn't even realize he was doing it. You said no. That love takes time. I said I had all the time in the world for you. We talked for hours. I took you to dinner. We've been inseparable ever since. And when are we getting married? Spring, cherry blossom season. You wanted something traditional. I wanted to give you everything you dreamed of. I had to admit, for a ruthless criminal, he was good at this. Too good. Why do you need this deal so badly? I asked. With the Nakamotos, expansion. They control shipping routes I need, ports, access. He looked out the window. Soul passing by in streaks of neon and shadow. And they don't trust me. Think I'm too young, too reckless, too American influenced. Are you? He looked back at me. What do you think? I think you're dangerous, calculated. And you're using me to get what you want. We're using each other. Don't forget that. He leaned closer. Close enough I could smell his cologne. Something expensive, cedar and smoke. You're just as dangerous as I am, Sarah. You're just better at hiding it. The car slowed, started winding through narrower streets, away from the main roads, into parts of Seoul I didn't recognize. Where are we going? I asked. Somewhere private, somewhere the Nakamotos can speak freely. He squeezed my hand. Somewhere no one will hear you scream if things go wrong. My heart stopped. What? He laughed. Relax. I'm joking. His eyes said otherwise. Mostly. The car stopped. We were at a restaurant. Not just any restaurant. The kind with no sign. The kind you needed to know about to find. Traditional building. Old wood. Paper lanterns glowing in the darkness. Showtime, Jihoon said. He got out. Came around. Opened my door. Offered his hand. I took it. Let him pull me close. His hand went to my waist. Possessive. Claiming. Remember, he whispered in my ear. You love me. You can't live without me. I'm your entire world. Don't push it. He laughed. A real laugh this time. There's the fire I was looking for. We walked inside. The place was dark, intimate, smelled like incense and expensive sake. A hostess in a traditional kimono bowed low and led us down a hallway. Our footsteps silent on tatami mats, sliding doors on either side, private rooms, muffled conversations and laughter from behind closed screens. She stopped at a door at the very end. Slid it open. My blood stopped. The Nakamoto family was already there. 3 men, 1 woman. All of them looked like they could kill you with chopsticks and not blink. Dressed in expensive suits, traditional but modern, old money meeting new power. But they weren't alone. Sitting at the head of the table, smiling like a cat that caught a canary, was someone I recognized, someone from my past, someone who could blow my cover with one word. Marcus Webb, my ex. The agent who got kicked out of the FBI 2 years ago for taking bribes, for selling information, for being exactly the kind of corrupt bastard that made the rest of us look bad. And he was looking right at me, recognition flashing in his eyes. Then something worse, amusement. Sarah, he said. Drew out my name like a secret. What a pleasant surprise. Stop scrolling. Subscribe right now. Comment Marcus if you're screaming at your screen right now. And hit that like button because this just went from bad to catastrophic. Also tell me, have you ever run into an ex at the worst possible moment? Drop your story below. I need to know I'm not alone in this chaos. Jihoon's hand tightened on my waist. I felt him go still beside me, calculating, processing. You two know each other? He asked, voice casual, but I heard the edge underneath, the danger. Marcus stood, walked over, that same cocky swagger he'd always had. Know each other? Sarah and I go way back. Don't we, sweetheart? I wanted to run, wanted to disappear, wanted to rewind time and never agree to this insane plan. But I couldn't, so I did the only thing I could. I smiled, leaned into Jihoon, let my hand rest on his chest. It's been a long time, Marcus. Not long enough, apparently. He looked between us. So, you're Jihoon's fiancé? That's unexpected. Life's full of surprises, isn't it though? He turned to Jihoon, extended his hand. Marcus Webb, I'm consulting for the Nakamotos, helping them vet their business partners, making sure everyone is who they say they are. The threat was clear. He knew who I was, what I was, and he was going to use it. Jihoon shook his hand, smiled that dangerous smile. Then I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. Oh, I'm sure we will. The oldest Nakamoto man, silver-haired and sharp-eyed, gestured to the table. Please, sit. We have much to discuss. We sat. Me next to Jihoon. Marcus directly across from me, staring, smiling, waiting. This was bad. This was so bad. Under the table, Jihoon's hand found my knee, squeezed once, a warning, or maybe reassurance. I couldn't tell. The Nakamoto man poured sake, passed cups around, traditional, ceremonial. Everyone took one. To new partnerships, he said. Raised his cup. We all drank. The sake burned going down, expensive, smooth, the kind that cost more than my rent. So, the Nakamoto man said. His English was perfect. British accent. Jihoon tells us you two are to be married. Congratulations. Thank you, I said, kept my voice soft, respectful. Everything Jihoon said they'd want. How did you meet? And here we go. The lies. The performance. At a museum, Jihoon said. His hand still on my knee. She was looking at a painting. I couldn't take my eyes off her. Which painting? Marcus asked. Leaned forward. I'm curious. Trap. He was testing me, testing us. Monet, I said. Pulled it out of thin air. Water lilies. I've always loved Impressionism. The way light and color blend. The way nothing is quite what it seems. Jihoon's thumb rubbed my knee. Approval. Poetic, Marcus said. You always did have a way with words, Sarah. You know her well? The Nakamoto woman asked. First time she'd spoken, her voice was silken steel. We dated, years ago. Before she met Jihoon, Marcus leaned back. We were very close, shared everything. Secrets, dreams. His eyes locked on mine. Professions. My heart hammered. He was going to do it. Going to expose me right here. But then Jihoon laughed. Professions? Sarah's in marketing, corporate branding, boring stuff. He looked at her with such warmth, such fake love. But she makes it interesting, makes everything interesting. Marketing, Marcus repeated. Is that what you're calling it now? What else would I call it? I kept my voice steady, met his gaze head on. I don't know. What would you call it? The table went quiet. Tension thick enough to cut. The Nakamoto man cleared his throat. Perhaps we should eat. Talk business after. Servers appeared. Brought course after course. Sushi, sashimi, grilled fish. Things I couldn't identify. Everything delicate, beautiful. Probably cost more than I made in a month. I couldn't taste any of it. Just moved food around my plate. Smiled when Jihoon looked at me, played the role. Marcus watched us the whole time, watched me, like a predator watching prey, waiting for the right moment to strike. So Sarah, the Nakamoto woman said, tell us about yourself, your family, where you're from. More questions, more tests. California originally. Moved to New York for college, stayed for work. All true. My cover was built on truth, easier to remember. My parents passed away a few years ago. Car accident. I don't have siblings. It's just me, also true. Made me perfect for undercover work. No family to worry about. No one to miss me if things went wrong. I'm sorry for your loss, she said. Seemed genuine. Thank you, and Jihoon is your family now, she said. Statement, not question. Yes. I looked at him, tried to put real emotion in it. He's everything to me. He looked back. Something flickered in his eyes. Something I couldn't read. How romantic, Marcus said. Young love. Reminds me of when Sarah and I were together. We were inseparable. Weren't we, Sarah? That was a long time ago. Was it, though? Feels like yesterday. He took a sip of sake. I remember everything. Every moment. Every secret you ever told me. Threat. Clear as day. Jihoon's hand moved from my knee to my hand, laced our fingers together, brought them above the table where everyone could see. The past is the past. Sarah and I are focused on our future. Of course, the future. Marcus smiled. I'm very interested in your future, actually. Both of you. The Nakamoto man set down his chopsticks. Enough. Marcus, you're here to provide information, not to harass our guests. My apologies. Just catching up with an old friend. Save it for after dinner. We ate in tense silence. I could feel Marcus's eyes on me, could feel the wire against my ribs, could hear my own heartbeat thundering in my ears. This was falling apart. Everything was falling apart. Finally, dinner ended. The table was cleared. Business could begin. So, the Nakamoto man said, Jihoon, you want access to our shipping routes, our ports, our networks, yes. And what do we get in return? Distribution rights in North America, access to my contacts, my protection, your protection. He smiled. You're young, ambitious. Why should we trust you? Because I'm the future. The old ways are dying. The old families are weak. I'm building something new, something stronger. Jihoon leaned forward. Partner with me now, and you'll control the West Coast. Refuse, and someone else will take that opportunity. Confident, realistic. The Nakamoto man looked at his colleagues. Some silent communication passed between them. Then he looked at Marcus. What do you think? This was it. Marcus was going to burn me. Burn us, end everything. Marcus leaned back, crossed his arms, looked right at me. I think Jihoon is exactly what he says he is. Ambitious, dangerous. Someone to watch carefully. Pause. But I also think his fiancée is very interesting, very capable. The kind of woman who could be an asset, or a liability. I need you to comment right now. What would you do if you were Sarah? Run, fight, play along? Tell me. And if you're not subscribed, what are you even doing? Hit that button, smash that like. Tell me where you're watching from because this story is about to explode and you don't want to miss what happens next. A liability? Jihoon's voice went cold. Dangerous. Just an observation. Beautiful women can be trouble. You never know who they really are, what they really want. I know exactly who Sarah is. Do you? Marcus smiled. Because I knew her once. Thought I knew her. Turned out I was wrong. Then you didn't know her at all. Jihoon stood, pulled me up with him. Gentlemen, lady, I think we're done here. Sit down, the Nakamoto man said. We're not finished. Yes, we are. Jihoon's hand tightened on mine. You brought in someone to question my fiancée, to disrespect her, to disrespect me. That tells me everything I need to know about your intentions. Jihoon, Find another partner. We're leaving. He pulled me toward the door. Marcus stood, blocked our path. Sarah, he said. Quiet. We need to talk. Privately. No, Jihoon said. We don't. I think we do. Marcus looked at me. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I felt Jihoon tense beside me. Felt the whole situation about to explode into violence. It's okay, I said. To Jihoon, to myself. 5 minutes, Sarah, please. I looked up at him. I can handle this. He stared at me, reading me, then slowly nodded. 5 minutes. I'll be right outside. He left. The Nakamotos left. Suddenly, it was just me and Marcus in that room, and I was alone with the man who could destroy everything. Marcus walked to the sake bottle, poured 2 cups, offered me 1. I don't want to drink. I want to know what you want. Want? I want a lot of things. He drank his cup, then mine. But mostly I want to know what the FBI's best undercover agent is doing playing house with Kim Jihoon. There it was, out in the open. I don't know what you're talking about. Please, don't insult my intelligence. He moved closer. I got kicked out. Not stupid. I know an operation when I see one. Question is, does he know? Marcus, does he know you're FBI, Sarah? Does your fiancé know you're planning to arrest him? I said nothing. Couldn't confirm. Couldn't deny. He laughed. Oh, this is beautiful. He has no idea. You're playing him. Getting close. Gathering evidence. He shook his head. You always were good at lying. At making people believe you cared. I did care. About you. About the job. Until you sold out. I adapted. Survived. You should try it. He circled me. Predator. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to cut me in. Cut you in. Whatever you're planning. Whatever you're gathering on Jihoon. I want a piece. Information. Money. Something. He stopped in front of me. Or I tell him exactly who you are. What you are. And I let him handle you his way. Blackmail. Of course. You're insane. I'm practical. And you're trapped. He smiled. So what's it going to be, Sarah? Partner with me? Or I burn your whole operation to the ground? The door slid open. Jihoon stepped in. Looked between us. Time's up. We were just finishing, Marcus said. Weren't we, Sarah? I looked at him. At this man I'd once trusted, once believed in. Now just another criminal trying to use me. Yes, I said. We're finished. I walked to Jihoon, took his arm, let him lead me out. But I felt Marcus's eyes on my back. Felt the threat hanging in the air. This mission just got a lot more complicated. We didn't speak in the car. Jihoon stared out the window, jaw tight, hand in a fist. Finally, he spoke. What did he say to you? Nothing important. Don't lie to me, Sarah. What did he want? I thought about telling him, thought about coming clean, about everything, but I couldn't. Not yet. He wanted to know if I was happy, if you treated me well. I looked at him. I told him yes. He turned, studied my face. Did you mean it? Strange question. Dangerous question. Does it matter? Yes. His voice was soft, serious. It matters. We stared at each other, the space between us charged with things neither of us could say. Things neither of us could admit. The car stopped. My apartment. I'll walk you up, he said. You don't have to. I want to. We rode the elevator in silence. Walked down my hallway, stopped at my door. Thank you, I said. For tonight, for defending me, that's what fiancés do. He touched my face, thumb brushing my cheek. Even fake ones, right, fake, but it didn't feel fake. Not the way he was looking at me, not the way my heart was racing. Sarah, he said, whispered. That man, Marcus, be careful with him. I can handle Marcus. Can you? He leaned closer, because from where I stood, he looked like a man with leverage, with secrets, the kind of secrets that could hurt you. I'm not worried. You should be. He's dangerous. So are you. He smiled. Sad. Yes, I am. You should remember that. Then he kissed my forehead. Gentle. Sweet. Nothing like the ruthless criminal everyone said he was. Good night, fiancé. Good night. I went inside, locked my door, leaned against it. My phone buzzed. Text from Marcus. Tick-tock, Sarah. Clock's running. Make your choice. Another buzz. Jihoon, this time sleep well. Tomorrow we go shopping for a ring. Got to make this look real. I looked at both messages. 2 men, 2 threats, 2 impossible choices. This fake relationship was starting to feel way too real. And I had no idea how to stop it. Comment trapped if you're feeling the pressure right now. Subscribe and hit that like button because next time, we're going ring shopping with a Mafia boss and things are about to get emotional. Tell me your thoughts. Team Jihoon or Team Runaway? I'm reading every single comment. I didn't sleep that night either. 2 nights in a row. I was running on coffee and adrenaline and the feeling that everything was about to explode in my face. I sat at my kitchen table, stared at those 2 texts. Marcus, Jihoon. Both of them wanting something from me. Both of them dangerous in completely different ways. My work phone rang. Director Chen, again. You're blown, he said. No hello, no preamble. Webb knows. We need to extract you. No, Sarah. He hasn't told Jihoon, not yet. He wants something. Money, information. He's playing his own game. I stood. Paced my tiny kitchen. If we pull me out now, we lose everything. Jihoon will disappear. We'll never get this close again. And if Webb tells him, if he exposes you, then I'll deal with it. How? He'll kill you, Sarah. That's what men like Jihoon do to people who betray them. I thought about that. About the way Jihoon had looked at me tonight. The way he defended me. The way his hand had felt on my face. I don't think he will, I said. You don't think? Director Chen's voice went hard. You're betting your life on don't think? I'm betting my life on this operation. On getting enough evidence to take down his entire organization. Isn't that what you wanted? Silence. Then a sigh. You have 1 week, 7 days. Get what you need and get out. Understood? Understood. He hung up. 1 week, 7 days to gather evidence. To play the loving fiancé. To keep Marcus quiet. To not fall for the man I was supposed to be arresting. Easy, right? I finally crashed around 4 a.m. Woke up at noon to my phone buzzing. Text from Jihoon. Pick you up at 2. Wear something comfortable. We're going shopping. Shopping. For a ring. To make our fake engagement look real. This was my life now. I showered, put on jeans and a sweater, nothing fancy, pulled my hair into a ponytail, minimal makeup. If we were going to do this, I was going to be comfortable. He showed up at exactly 2, black car, different driver this time. Jihoon in the back seat looking at his phone. I slid in next to him. Where are we going? You'll see. He didn't look up, just kept typing. Then he put his phone away, looked at me, really looked. You look tired, didn't sleep well, because of Marcus? Because of everything? I leaned back against the leather seat. This is getting complicated. It was always complicated. He shifted to face me. But we have a deal. 7 more days of this dinner, then the contract is signed. Then we can both walk away. 7 days. Same timeline Director Chen gave me. Coincidence? Or was something else happening here? What happens after? I asked. After the deal is done. We stage a breakup, very public, very dramatic. You're heartbroken. I'm devastated. We go our separate ways. He said it so casually, like it was nothing. You get your evidence. I get my legitimacy. Everyone wins. And Marcus? His jaw tightened. I'll handle Marcus. How? Does it matter? It does to me. He studied me. Calculating. Why? He's your ex. He's blackmailing you. Why do you care what happens to him? Good question. Why did I care? Because I don't want anyone to get hurt. Even him. That's naive. That's human. He almost smiled. Is it? I forget sometimes what it's like to care about people who don't deserve it. The car stopped. We were in an area I didn't recognize. Expensive shops, designer boutiques, the kind of place where things cost more than my monthly rent. Where are we? Asked. Somewhere we can get you a ring. He got out, offered his hand. Come on, let's make this official. We walked into a jewelry store that looked like a museum. Glass cases everywhere, security guards at the door, everything gleaming and perfect. A woman approached, elegant, professional, smiled like we were her favorite customers. Mr. Kim. So good to see you again. Again. He'd been here before. Hello, Grace. This is my fiancée, Sarah. We need a ring. Grace's smile got wider. Of course. Congratulations. Let me show you our engagement collection. She led us to a private room, brought out tray after tray of rings, diamonds, sapphires, emeralds, each one more expensive than the last. I stared at them, at all that money, all that sparkle, all that fake commitment. Which one do you like? Jihoon asked. I don't know. They're all beautiful. That's not an answer. He picked up a ring. Diamond solitaire. Simple. Classic. Held it up to the light. What about this one? It's nice. Nice. He put it down. Picked up another one. This one had smaller diamonds around a center stone. More ornate. This one? Also nice. He set that one down too. Looked at me. Sarah. You're about to wear this ring for 7 days. Pick one you actually like. I looked at the trays. At all the options, at all the lies wrapped in precious metal. Then I saw it, tucked in the corner. Not the biggest, not the flashiest. A simple platinum band with a small diamond. Elegant, understated, real. That one, I said, pointed to it. Grace picked it up, slipped it on my finger. Perfect fit. I stared at my hand, at this symbol of something that didn't exist, this promise that was really a lie. It suits you, Jihoon said. His voice soft, different. I looked up at him. He was watching me, something in his expression I couldn't read. We'll take it, he told Grace. Excellent choice. Let me wrap it. No, she'll wear it out. Grace nodded. disappeared to process the payment. I kept staring at my hand, at this ring, at this fake engagement that was feeling less fake by the minute. Sarah, Jihoon said. I looked up. Thank you for doing this, for playing along. He touched the ring on my finger. Gentle, I know it's not real, but it means something. To me. What does it mean? He didn't answer, just held my hand, looked at the ring he'd just bought me. We left the store, got back in the car, started driving. Where to now? I asked. My place. We need to make this look real. That means you need to know where I live, need to have your things there, need to look like you belong. His place. I was going to see where Kim Jihoon lived, where he worked, where he kept his secrets. This was it. This was my chance. The car wound through the city, up into the hills, where the rich people lived, where the criminals who could afford to hide in plain sight made their homes. We pulled up to a gate, security cameras everywhere. Guards checking the car. Then we were through. The house was massive, modern, glass and steel and money, views of the entire city spread out below like Jihoon owned it. Maybe he did. We went inside. Minimal furniture, expensive art on the walls, everything clean, perfect, like no one actually lived here. Your room is upstairs, he said. Second door on the left. I'll have someone bring your things tomorrow. My things? Clothes, toiletries, whatever you need. He loosened his tie. We're engaged, Sarah. You live here now. At least for the next 7 days. Right, 7 days living with a mafia boss. What could go wrong? I need to make some calls, he said. Make yourself comfortable. There's food in the kitchen. Anything you need, just ask. Then he was gone. Disappeared into some room I couldn't see. Left me standing in his massive house wondering what the hell I'd gotten myself into. I went upstairs. Found the room he'd mentioned. It was huge. Bigger than my entire apartment. King bed, private bathroom, windows overlooking the city. I sat on the bed, looked at the ring on my finger, pulled out my phone, texted Director Chen I'm in, at his house. Will report back with anything I find? His response was immediate. Be careful. Remember the mission. Don't let your guard down. Too late for that, I thought. My guard had been slipping since the moment Jihoon put this ring on my finger. I heard footsteps. Jihoon appeared in the doorway. You okay? He asked. Just processing. This is a lot. I know. He leaned against the door frame. But it's safer this way. Marcus is watching. The Nakamotos are watching. If we're going to sell this, we have to commit. And when it's over, when the 7 days are up, then we go back to being strangers. You forget about me. I forget about you. Simple. Nothing about this was simple. He started to leave. Stopped. Sarah? For what it's worth, I'm glad it's you. Glad you're the one playing this role. Why? Because you're good at it. At making me believe this could be real. Then he was gone. I sat there, stared at the ring. Felt the wire still pressed against my ribs. My phone buzzed. Marcus saw you two ring shopping. Very sweet. Don't forget our deal. 48 hours. Then I tell him everything. 48 hours. 2 days to figure out how to stop Marcus, how to finish this mission, how to not fall for the man I was supposed to be destroying. Drop a 48 hours in the comments if you're feeling the countdown pressure. Subscribe and hit that like button because things are about to get intense. Tell me, would you stay in that house or would you run? I need to know what you'd do. I couldn't sleep. Again. Third night in a row, I lay in Jihoon's guest room staring at the ceiling thinking about everything that could go wrong. At 2 a.m., I gave up, got out of bed, wandered downstairs. The house was dark, silent, like I was the only person in the world. I found the kitchen, started making tea, trying to calm my nerves, trying to think. Can't sleep. I jumped, turned around. Jihoon was there, sweatpants and a t-shirt, hair messy, looking more human than I'd ever seen him. You scared me. Sorry. I heard someone moving around. He walked to the counter, started making coffee. Tea? Really? It's calming, it's boring. He looked at me. You're not a tea person, Sarah. How would you know? Because I know you. Better than you think. That sent a chill down my spine. How much did he know? What had he figured out? Coffee's not going to help you sleep, I said. I'm not trying to sleep. I'm trying to work. He poured himself a cup, leaned against the counter. Big day tomorrow, meeting with the Nakamotos again. They want to finalize terms, and Marcus will be there, probably. He took a sip. You worried about him? Should I be? Yes. He set down his cup, walked closer. He's going to try something, to use you against me, to get leverage. That's what men like him do. And what are you going to do about it? Protect you. Why? I'm just a fake fiancé, just playing a role, are you? He was close now. Too close. Because it doesn't feel fake anymore, does it? My heart stopped. Did he know? Had he figured it out? Jihoon, don't. He touched my face. Same way he had at my apartment. Gentle, real. Don't lie. Not right now. Not when it's just us. I don't know what you want me to say. The truth. That's all I've ever wanted. The truth. that I was FBI, that I was here to arrest him, that everything between us was built on lies. I couldn't say any of that, so I said something else, something that was somehow true despite everything. It doesn't feel fake, not anymore. He smiled, sad, like he'd expected that answer but wished it was different. I thought so. He stepped back. Put distance between us. That's the problem with lies, Sarah. Play them long enough, they start to feel real, start to become real. And what do we do about that? Nothing. We finish this. We walk away. We remember that none of it was ever supposed to matter, but it did matter. That was the problem. He picked up his coffee, started walking away. Get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be long. Jihoon? He stopped, didn't turn around. What if I don't want to walk away? Silence. Long enough I thought he wasn't going to answer. Then don't say things you don't mean. Not to me, I mean it. He turned, looked at me, really looked. No, you don't. You just think you do because we're good at pretending. His voice went hard. But that's all this is. Pretending. Don't forget that. Then he left me standing in his kitchen with cold tea and a heart that was beating way too fast. I went back to my room, lay in bed, thought about everything he'd said. Don't forget that none of it was real. But what if it was? What if somewhere in all the lies we'd been telling, we'd stumbled into something true? My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Stop trying to save him. He's not who you think he is. A friend. A friend. Right. I deleted the message, tried to sleep, failed. At 6 a.m. I gave up, got dressed, went downstairs. Jihoon was already there, suit and tie. Back to being the ruthless criminal. The softness from last night completely gone. Ready? He asked. For what? The meeting with the Nakamotos. Did you forget? I had. For just a moment I'd forgotten that this was all business, all strategy, all fake.
Now I want you to hit the subscribe button and like the story, because you won't see what's coming next at the Nakamoto's event. You won't believe what Marcus did. Now I want you to hit the